Hi, this is Paul Konkowski with the Systems Conference, and I'm here with Julie Mullinax, and we're talking about her business, CRM Properties, and some of the great software that she uses to help her on a daily basis. Julie, can you just introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself, your company, and just some background on you?
Sure. So I'm Julie Mullinax. I am co-owner with my husband, Chris, of CRM Properties in Central Indiana. We've been in business for about 12 years. We manage just a little over 950 doors. It's about 60-40 split, single family and multifamily. Our largest complex that we manage is about 15 units. We do full renovations on properties. We help investors buy properties, and we do have real estate division as well, but it's mainly just for investors that are looking to purchase more rental properties.
And Julie, you've been to every single systems conference from the start, correct?
I have, yes.
You have. And why, when you started, me and you were in a lot of the same boat. We had a lot of crap on the wall, and it wasn't very organized, correct?
That is a very accurate statement. Yep. And I think that very first one, I've kind of lost track of how many it was ago.
8. We've had 8.
Okay. We had just, while we were in business then for about 4 years, we were still small-ish back then, and didn't have any systems, no written documentation really of anything. We were just kind of doing things as they flew through our desk. And so that first one that we had really was a big game changer for us to, this is important to have everybody is doing the lease renewal the exact same way and signing a lease the exact same way. Things that you would think are common sense. It's not necessarily when you're first starting, so.
And you had one employee at that time that pretty much you were completely reliant on, and you had no clue how they were doing it. And then after you started getting your systems in place, you found that there was a lot of dead bodies in the parking lot and everywhere else. And you were leaving a lot of money on the table that was not being billed, was not being that. Is that a correct statement? Because that's how I was after I came back from my first one. I found that there was a lot of stuff in the closet that I just didn't know about.
Yes, I would say that is pretty accurate. There were just a lot of errors that were costing money, or not necessarily costing money, but losing potential revenue for us, and efficiencies or inefficiencies, depending on which way you want to look at it, that we were missing out on, that really cuts your labor down, which is another moneymaker.
If you were in the same boat you were now, could you have 950 doors, or would your churn rate just be huge?
Yeah, it would. I would probably have quit. I honestly, I can't imagine what running, we have 40 employees, about 25 stateside and about 20 remote. It would be mass chaos, I would say, if we didn't have the systems we have in place right now.
And when you started, you had no remote employees and about 4 employees, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So you've gone a long way. So it's exciting. Julie and Chris are some of my oldest friends. We've really gone through systems together. And so Julie, what is, on your go-to softwares, what is a software that on a daily basis you use?
So I knew this question was coming up, and so I really thought about this, and it seems, I guess I would say elementary or duh, but really it's our property management software. A lot of people, I think of the Lead Simple or Process Tree, those process the system ones, but we would not be able to do really what we're doing now without our property management software. Obviously, the other softwares help enhance that, but without having that software in place, it would be very, I guess, archaic and chaotic. We started our company using Excel spreadsheets. That's how we started, keeping track of leases and billing residents and billing owners. And now with the software, obviously, it makes it much more streamlined.
And I guess that's, all of us after being in it for years, we always think, oh, of course we have property management software. But you're right. Like I started without property management software on Excel sheets too, and property management software. And I went straight when I had 30 doors, and Appfolio won't let you do anymore, to Appfolio because I didn't want to learn two softwares. And I know I had to pay this. I had to pay for 250 doors, or 200 doors, or whatever it was, even though I only had 30. Now I believe they won't even let people come unless they have 100 doors because they find that they don't use it right. What software is it that you're currently using right now?
Property Meld. Sorry.
Propertyware. Propertyware. There's a lot of property ones.
Yes.
And what is a software that is kind of out there that is just something that you guys are using in any one of your businesses that you're like, wow, this is really cool and people should find out about it? Because this conference, we are focusing on technology. So just want to know something different.
So I think as far as an actual software, I will then switch over to the Lead Simple and incorporating Zapier. So maybe Zapier would be a better one that really just enables a lot of the different softwares that we do use to talk to each other and automate things. So I would say, I know you asked for one, but I would say those two would be the next two.
And then my question, are you currently using AI in your company?
We do. ChatGPT is a big one that we use, and I'll be vulnerable and say we don't use it to the full extent that we could. So the people that I'm bringing to the conference, they're going to be tasked with learning more about that. But yes, we do use ChatGPT a lot. I would say that's the main one that we do use with AI.
And one of your employees I was just on the phone with today and using a task management software that I've never used in the past. It's part of Google. And like when you first set it up for the systems conference, I'm like, what the heck is this? You got to explain it to me. So David, my former employee, who's now your employee, who's been working on the systems conference, he's like, oh yeah, this is his software. And we went through it today and I'm like, wow, this is cool. Like Google has this and it has the dates and it's very simple. And then he just taught it to me and Melissa. So there's lots of things that within your company of 40 people, you guys have a lot of stuff different things going on. But at the conference, you are going to be talking about, let me go through, efficiencies unleashed, the role of pod systems in property management. So you've recently gone to the pod system. I know that there's a lot of major big companies are going to the pod systems because they're finding the pod system to be more efficient. Mm-hmm. You're going to be talking about what was efficient about it, your changes to it. You'll have had about 5 months on the pod system at the time of the conference, correct?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So you're going to be able to take people the good, the bad, and the ugly, correct?
Absolutely, yes. And I think the first, I would say, month to two, there was a lot of learning. We didn't have anybody. We didn't have any other property management companies that we talked to about it. I know that word has been used, but we just kind of came up with how we wanted to do it in our company on our own. And it really, I don't want to give away too many points that I'm going to be bringing up, but we actually were able to take 10 employees that between our portfolio manager and our resident service coordinator, we were able to cut that down to 8. So there's 2 pods with 4 people on each one. Actually, I'm going to take that back. We cut it down from 12 to 8. So we were able to cut our labor, and it really we always prided ourselves on having that one point of contact for a client. So they knew I talked to Becky every time, but then Becky would have to go get answers for some things from other departments or other people. The pod system really helps streamline everything, so they're able to, their team knows everything and they've already heard about it before the client calls and says, hey, what's going on with this? So I think Now when I talk to someone, I talk to the red team because I'm a actual customer of yours, and it'll say the red team. Hey, we're working on this thing, the red team, correct? It's really more about the team you're on. You're getting a response every time you email any one of them. What email system are you using that is keeping track of all this email, making sure everything's not streamlined, making sure you're not stepping on each other's feet? Because I know this is a new thing too. Yes. So currently we are using Microsoft 365. However, we about a month ago took the leap to get into Help Scout. So that in January at the Systems Conference may be my number one hidden gem of another software to use. Help Scout is an email exchange platform, and it helps catalog and really sorts your emails so that the team can really use one email inbox, but it learns, and that's going to be another AI. It learns, okay, it has this keyword, so it goes to this person, and everything's tagged. It's really going to make our emailing within the team, the pod, a lot more efficient.
That's awesome. And then, like, you're also going to be on a panel, I believe, on how to work in your business. Basically, it's a panel on getting out of day-to-day stuff, correct? How you're doing it so that you can go to Florida for a month and work from Florida. How you guys can, I know that's what you and Chris like to do. How you take your job and make it so that other people are doing it and that you're just checking on how it's done, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong, and not actually doing any of the work.
Yep. So I think and this may kind of go into it. I think one of the other topics or sessions was KPIs and being more efficient, but going into how to reduce my in the business stuff really goes into that KPI management. I have about 20 KPIs that I look at, some daily, some weekly, some monthly, that really tells me, do I need to get my hands or my fingers into the maintenance department? Or do I need to get my fingers and hands into the leasing department? Or is this number where it needs to be that, nope, the teams have it, they've got it. The other thing that we've been working on with our upper level management is to really stop and think. Any question that comes to me, I make myself stop and think, how could I get this question to go to somebody else? What do we need a new system, or do they need better trained, or is it something that the person bringing the question to me just is taking the lazy way out and they just want to go to the person who they think is going to get the answer the fastest for them? So that's one of I would say the key things that I'm doing right now is really stopping and making myself think, should I be the one answering this or doing this task? Or should it be put on somebody else?
And you and me are a lot alike in a lot of ways. Chris was really good about detaching himself from the company and working on the business, not in the business. Mm-hmm. Me and you were not. We were having owners call us, people call us all the time, dealing with minor issues. I actually worked with your husband probably like 6 years ago on getting myself so I could get myself away from the business like him. Yep. And then that's, I know, been a big priority in CRM because Chris was doing a good job of it, but you weren't. You weren't doing a good job of it. You were still, and you basically had to take hire a couple people to be you. Like, it wasn't one person, because you couldn't hire one person to be you, because that yep. just like one person couldn't do me. Like, there's not that much energy for them to be us. Mm-hmm. So you did hire a couple people. How are you doing on that? I know Chris is doing well on that. How are you doing on it?
So I'm proud to say that we actually just came back from an 8-day trip to New York City, and I probably worked 2 hours maybe out of that 8 days. Nice. And that what I would say is the first time ever I've taken that much time off and put in that few of hours. So you mentioned going to Florida. We have our Naples trip planned for January, right before the Systems Conference, and I plan on doing 0 hours during that week. So I feel like I'm doing better. We've really gotten those higher level people in their spots so that they are catching everything that used to come to me or the things that I used to do, and they're doing it as well. In addition to that, though, I would say I've got a very good administrative assistant that does a lot of personal things for me. So that's really taken off a lot of the menial tasks that free my time up to be able to do other things as well.
Well, and by doing that, you can grow your business, make more. Like when you and Chris got out of the business, I mean, I picked on Chris a little bit there, but it was actually essential. Chris was doing more to make more money in the business than you. You were doing more work in day to day, but Chris was doing more things that expand your business because he had time to sit, think, and get things done and do it so it was done in a methodical way, where you were always, I got to get the billing in, I got to get this in, I got to make sure the owner statements are correct. You were always doing more stuff, so your business grew dramatically. Would you agree that your business grew dramatically because one of you was able to steer the ship and not be in the trenches?
I would say yes. Initially, I would agree with that. But I think what we both have noticed is that can sometimes cause a slower reaction to things. We want to overthink some things. And so I think that's one of the big, the key differences I've seen in the last year or two with our company is that we have put those other people in place and we expect them to work faster, not necessarily work faster, but think faster and make changes faster and not drag your feet as much. We did hire a
you also have 3 people that are you now, so they should work faster.
Correct.
Even
yes.
You have more people that are you, it's going to go faster. I mean, because we believe we're superhuman as property owners as property management owners, and so we think we can do everything better, and we can do everything better. I agree, like a lot of things we can do better. The problem is we just can't do it faster because we only have so many hours in the day. So now that you have 3 people doing your job, they should get it done faster because they're only doing 1/3 of you.
Yep. You nailed it.
There we go. So I think that's what I look at is, if you want to grow your company, I would tell anyone who's at 50 doors, 100 doors, 200 doors, have more people in your company than you think you need. Maybe make a little less money because you're going to build something that's valuable, but you need people to be able to get stuff done, and service has to be good. You guys have had great service throughout the years, but it wasn't always great service. But now, like, you call, you get a human being. Your owners don't go to a voice system, do they? They get a live human to answer during business hours.
Yep, we have a dedicated owner line for our clients, and we don't give that number out to anybody else, so it's different from our number that you see online. You won't find that number anywhere, I don't think. So we give it out to our clients and say, use this number. It rings to the 4 people on our pods. It rings to them first. If they don't answer it, it rings to their boss. And if she doesn't answer it, then it rings to my phone. And if it comes to my phone, I'm not a happy camper. So yeah, we have it's allowed us to provide better service. And I think you mentioned the overstaffing. I know there's been a lot of debate at different conferences about how to staff. And I think we have always staffed a little higher because we are in a growth pattern. We've been wanting to grow ever since we started our business, and it's a lot easier to have somebody sitting there trained and ready to go when you need them rather than, shoot, we need another portfolio manager. Now it takes us 3 months to get them so that they can do things on their own. We don't have that time. So that's helped us stay ahead of our growth and our service.
But you can also do it easier when 3 employees are the cost of one in the US. When you've now gone, since our first systems conference, you had all US based employees. It's hard to overstaff when someone's $20-something an hour.
Yes.
When someone is $7-8 an hour, it's a little easier on your budget to overstaff.
Absolutely. Yes. I would say that's been a huge thing for our bottom line, and in order to be able to have us overstaff. Absolutely.
Yeah. So everybody, this has been Julie Mullinax. We want to see you at the systems conference. She's been every single one. She would say it's essential to her business. She brings a good chunk of her staff. She usually brings like 5 or 6 people to this. They work during this. They get a lot done. This is not a cheap investment for her to bring all these people out to Vegas. But every year she always says it's worthwhile. If you want $100 off, it's Julie Rocks, capital J, Julie, Julie, Rocks, all one word, $100 off. We want you to sign up. We're starting the 10 days of Christmas where we're going to be giving 10 days of giveaways. We're going to be giving away for anyone who signed up. You can win prizes too. We're having prizes from all the way up to a 1 year of coaching with me or 1 year of coaching with Wolfgang or a free conference. Julie is going, so she's already signed up, and every one of her employees who goes will be a sign up for her too. So she might win some of these prizes. So definitely get in, sign up now. We have over 100 people have signed up, and we are a drop. We can only take 150. At 150, we stop no matter what. I don't care what happens, but we were at 70 people 2 weeks ago. So we are rolling now. People are signing up. It's coming up close. So sign up. If you're a bit on the fence, like, oh, I'm going to sign up, I'll just do it after Christmas. I'll do it for that. I don't know if we're going to have spots after Christmas. So this has been Paul with Julie. Julie, I always love talking to you. You're one of my dearest friends in property management, in life. I mean, not even just in property management.
Yes,
so
we are.
I'm looking forward to seeing you at the event.
So fun. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it.
Have a great day.